Okay, in this video, I want to talk about some of the Tory top seats, how I think they'll do in various regions. Now, if you watched my Brexit Party seat analysis, you can also watch that again. I've also chatted about the Conservatives and SNP because I did analysis of the regions and how each region is tailored towards certain signs. For example, the Northeast is the strongest region for the Brexit Party, along with Wales. Scotland, very strong for the SNP and also the Conservatives. Labour should see a wipeout there. Not good in Scotland, obviously, for the Brexit Party. Not wonderful for the Lib Dems. London getting stronger for the Lib Dems. Southwest good for the Lib Dems. Tory heartland is the Midlands, where they should do extremely well. Yorkshire and Humber, the east of England. Southeast is a toss-up between Tories and Lib Dems, mainly better for the Tories. And the Northwest, Labour is weakening there considerably, and the Brexit Party is growing in strength. The Tories could possibly turn over some marginals in the Northwest as well. So one seat in the Northeast, which could go to the Tories, is Stockton South. So the fall of UKIP in that region really helped Labour. So if the Brexit Party pick up all those Labour votes, the Tories could get in there. Let's have a look at Scotland. There's Perth and North Perthshire. It's the most marginal seat for the Tories. Oh, next to Kensington. It's only 21 votes that the Tories need to turn over. So a small increase in the Lib Dem vote and a few people going back to Labour could help the Tories. I mean, they've been growing in popularity in that area. The SNP and the Tories have always been pretty closely matched in that area. So, I mean, unless the Brexit Party, I'm not sure if they're even running in that seat, but unless they really hurt the Tories there, the UKIP vote there was very small. So it won't necessarily happen. So although it's been SNP for 2 decades, the Tories have been doing better and better each year. So that's a good target seat for them, especially as people seem to be in the certain areas of Scotland are going off the SNP. Some areas they're getting stronger. A lot of areas they're going off. Let's have a look at Kensington. That was a classic Tory area, but it flipped to Labour last election. It's only a 20 majority. I'm wondering if a lot of people in Kensington might switch their vote to the Lib Dems because it is a huge, heavy Remain area. So you never know if the Labour vote can switch a little bit to the Lib Dems. It could let the Tories back in there. However, I think changing demographics in that area could help Labour to secure it again, especially being in London and being such a Remain city. I think even though it's only 20 seats, could get away from the Conservatives, that one. There's Dudley North. That's only 22 seats, the Tories short of getting that one from Labour. The West Midlands is a key area where the Tories are increasing in the polls, doing quite well. So I think they could turn that over. Also, UKIP was the second most popular party in Dudley North in 2015. So obviously the Brexit Party are going to do well there. And that is a little bit of a worry because it could hurt the Tories. Unless, of course, the Brexit Party are going to pick up a lot of Labour votes. In that case, the Tories can go for it in that particular seat. So I don't think the Brexit Party have got enough votes to win that particular one. Then there's Newcastle under Lyme, not the other Newcastle in the Northeast. This is in the West Midlands, so it's also a good heavy hunting ground for the Tories. There's a Labour majority of only 30, so I think Tories could win that one. The Tory vote's been going up and up year in, year out. UKIP did very well in 2015, so although that could dilute the Tory vote somewhat, it could also hurt Labour. It could go both ways there. So I think that is a good target seat for the Tories. Crewe and Nantwich, also in the West Midlands, Labour only have a majority of 48. I think the Tories won't take that one unless the Brexit Party hurt Labour, because it's kind of moving away in that one. The trend there is towards Labour more than to the Tories. So there's Canterbury. Now, Canterbury has been a Tory seat for goodness knows how long, but some very odd stuff was going on during the 2017 election when it flipped to Labour. Labour doubled their vote. Now, I know it's a university town, and that played into it. And what with these elections happening when the university's on holiday, that could mean it flips back to the Tories. But Eva, I'm just a little bit suspicious of that one, because in 2015, the Conservatives had a whopping majority. They got 22,918 votes, a 42.87% share of the vote. Labour only got 13,000 roughly. UKIP got 7,289 and the Lib Dems got 6,227. So the Lib Dems lost out a little bit. The Conservatives increased by about 3,000 votes, but Labour soared from 13,000 to 25,572. So they really got their vote out there. So something strange happening in Canterbury. We'll see if that repeats or if it was down mainly to university students voting, but it must be more than that. So we'll see if the Tories can win that one back. It is a fairly strong area for the Tories and for the Brexit Party being in the south east. I think the Brexit Party could hurt Labour and the Tories equally there. So we'll see how that goes. There's Barrow and Furness, which is in the northwest. There's good regional polling there. Tory vote has been growing in that area. They could definitely win that. Fairly small majority to turn over. There's Kiley, that's in the York and Humber area. I think the Tories could take that one. In that constituency of Kiley, I think the Brexit Party and the Lib Dems will hurt Labour, maybe let the Tories through. There's also Lanark and Hamilton East. The voters in that constituency that's in Scotland seem to have gone off the SNP. Conservative vote has been increasing. It was a very, very close, only about 200 and something votes in it. I think the Tories could turn that over because it's one of those areas where people have kind of gone off the SNP. Then there's Ashfield. Also a massive Brexit vote there. It's right there with Bolsover in the most highest proportion of Brexit voters. So I think the Brexit Party will have a big shot there. The Tories could do kind of well. It was a very big UKIP area. That was one of the few places where UKIP got over 10,000 votes. So massive potential for the Brexit Party there. So I think that's a happy hunting ground for the Tories. But the Brexit Party could split the vote a little bit, although if the Lib Dems, they were quite strong in this area, if they have a revival, it could really open that up. So I think it's more likely to be a Tory win that. Then we have Stroud, which is the southeast area, or strong area for the Tories. There are a lot of floating and protest voters in Stroud because they tend to sometimes vote a lot for Lib Dems, sometimes vote a lot for UKIP. So I think the Lib Dems will revive. It'll hurt Labour. There's no chance for the Brexit Party, but I think the Brexit Party will hurt Labour more than Tories in Stroud. It's Bishop Auckland, which is also in the northeast, which is a strong area for Brexit, strong area for Labour. There's a 502 Labour majority. It's always Labour, but the Tories have been getting more and more popular. So it's usually just a straight shootout between Labour and Conservative. I'm not sure if the Brexit Party won't damage the Tory chances there. Then there's Oxford, West and Abingdon. This is an area the Lib Dems regained in 2017. I think the Lib Dems will win here again. It's in Oxford, it's a university town, it's a key Remain area. I don't think the Tories can take that one. There's also Westmoreland and Lonsdale. That's held by the Lib Dems, but the support for the Lib Dems seems to be waning there in the last few elections. The narrows are very narrow margins, so Tories could well take that. And also the northwest, the Tories are doing polling well in the northwest, so they could take that seat. There's Colne Valley, which is in Yorkshire and Humber, is 800 majority for Labour, but the Lib Dems and the Brexit Party there could take a lot of votes off Labour and help the Tories win. I see there that Labour capitalised massively off the Lib Dem demise. So if the Lib Dems come right again, that could hurt Labour and help the Tories get into that seat. Okay, let's have a look at what else we got here. There are a few more target seats in Scotland, including Ayrshire, and that's where the SNP have been losing support. They were down about 10,000 votes. The Tories were increasing. It used to be SNP, then Labour, then Conservative, but Conservatives getting much more popular in that area of Ayrshire. So who knows? They might have a chance there, and I think the Green Party might split the vote a little bit. So that's our list there of all the target seats. Well, not all of them. The list goes on and on. I would just mention another that's Warwick and Leamington. It's an area I know very well. Now, that's been from the Tony Blair years. It went Labour, even though it's more of a traditional kind of Tory-ish area. And in the last election, it flipped back to Labour. I'm not sure if because it's also kind of a university town, what with Warwick University being in Coventry very close. That may play into it. If it is the university students that are driving to push towards Labour, then possibly having it in the university holidays will dampen that effect. However, Warwick and Leamington, unusually for the Midlands, is a very big Remain area. So I think it's going to be kind of hard for the Tories to pick up that particular seat. So I see the Tories doing quite well in Scotland, though. There's also other seats which are unlikely to be taken by the Tories of Carshalton and Wallington. That's also in London, which, as you know, a big Remain area. Eastbourne, I think it's on the list, but it's quite kind of difficult for the Tories to take. They should do better in Lincoln. Possibly Portsmouth South, I think that's a difficult one. Warrington South, difficult. Possibly Derby North, High Peak. I'd say they've got no hope of taking Battersea. The Lib Dems might sneak in there. Wolverhampton Southwest, possibly. Wrexham is on the list. It's a difficult one. Stoke-on-Trent North, possibly. Dewsbury, I don't think that they're going to do that one. And East Lothian, difficult. Norfolk North is the final one that I think is a good possibility for the Tories. But all depends on the night. As I say, how well Labour get out their vote is crucial, because they really did that well in 2017. But hopefully people are energised for this election. They take it seriously, they vote tactically and thoughtfully, and they get out there. Goldie Girl, do you think we'll get Brian or Brexit? No, I think at this stage we're going to get a decent Brexit. Okay, is it true about university students can register and vote in their parents'? I think practically it's true, because if you filled in a registration form, I don't see where the checks and balances are to stop that happening. Logically, I think it is happening, but they'd have to make that journey, wouldn't they? And I don't know how motivated students necessarily are. I mean, they're rather lackadaisical, aren't they? The snowflake generation. Sorry, guys. Maybe I don't know how motivated they will be on the day. Jonathan McGuinness, I think Liberal Democrats have taken votes away from Labour and the Conservatives in London, and the Conservatives will do well. Jonathan, I agree with you. I think the Lib Dems can pick up quite a few seats in London, actually. They'll pick up seats in the southwest, maybe one or two in the southeast. That's where I think their strong areas will be, because I think the Lib Dems are going to do fairly well. Yeah, so remains to be seen. I really hope the Brexit Party are going to break through, because it will be exciting. And on the night I'm going to be watching for that, it's going to be a very exciting night, because who knows? I'm hoping for a no deal and a clean Brexit. Well, Leon, I think we're all hoping for that as close as possible on this channel, so that we can sock it to the globalists one more time. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening, and I'll be watching out for all those seats on the night to see how the cards fall. Thanks, guys.